All right, so today on the program, we are looking at the campaign against fake drugs. We're looking at, so many things that relates to regulatory framework for public health and safety. And we're doing that from the perspective of NAFDAC. Of course, NAFDAC is the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control. And we're trying to see what they've been doing and also to assess how far we've gone in trying to, rid our country of fake drugs. And joining me on the phone line this morning, Mrs. Christiana Obiazikwor, who is a Deputy Director, Public Relations for NAFDAC, and she's joining me on the phone line. Madam, it's nice to have you on the program. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Wonderful. So, how is the location you are this morning? I hope it's cool. I hope it's not raining.
A little bit drizzling.
Okay, but it's good, right?
Yes, it's good.
Okay, so I have somebody in the studio joining us on the program as well. Dipo Macjob is a pharmacist and, of course, a non-verbal intelligence expert. And he's also with us in the studio. Dipo, how are you doing?
Fantastic, Victor.
You're welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so Christiana, for the purpose of clearer understanding, I need you to just do something for me in terms of concept demystification. So, what is the mandate that has been given to NAFDAC?
NAFDAC, as you know, is a regulatory body. It's National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control under the Ministry of Health that is mandated to regulate the importation, exportation, manufacture, use, sale and distribution of food, drugs, cosmetics, medical devices, chemical, bottled water, and we have added a lot veterinary medicines, because of the things we face in Nigeria, adverse drug reactions that is caused by taking from animals, so we added veterinary medicine.
All right.
So we regulate the distribution, sale, and use of these products. And we call them together as regulated products.
And how far have you gone? What NAFDAC. And how far have you gone in meeting up with these ideals of this mandate, so to say?
We have done so much, and we are doing so much, because if you look at the mandate, it's even processed food. But because of the health implication of food generally, we have gone as much as looking at food, as the name hotels. You see us looking at food in the market, so many practices that people do.
All right.
Apart from the things they manufacture, even the ones that are already made by God, you see people trying to do all kinds of things. So that is why we even went ahead to start regulating and sensitizing people about consumables generally. Whether it's in our mandate, whether it's not in our mandate, so long as it's something people consume, because of the health implication. And because so many people are dying with diseases, all kinds of sicknesses, that is, they got from such practices that we do ourselves. And so NAFDAC is doing so much to regulate food, to regulate drugs, and we have even added to what we are mandated to do by the law.
All right, we'll touch on the drug aspect very, very shortly, but let me bring in Dipo Macjob. Dipo, you are a concerned Nigerian, and you're a pharmacist as well. Your aspect is drugs, right? How is NAFDAC, the regulatory agency, how are they performing in this regard from your assessment?
Yeah, so I'm sure there's a name that resonates with a lot of Nigerians of blessed memory. If you mention Dora Akunyili, I think she began that journey, and of course it has trickled down, to the current DG of NAFDAC. So before now, we weren't hearing a lot of things, but NAFDAC brought that sensitization on the need to regulate a lot of issues regarding fake and counterfeit medicines. So I would say that the journey so far has been good, but of course, because NAFDAC has a big purview, there's a need for other stakeholders to get involved, and particularly because there are certain mediums to communicate that information that needs to be exploited, and that's why we are doing what we're doing.
All right, so I'll be talking about what you are bringing on board as well in terms of intervention. But Christiana, this is the 5th month of the year, so talk to my listeners. What are the significant achievements that NAFDAC has been able to attain so far this year?
This is the 5th month of the year, and we've done a lot. In terms of drug, recently, if you follow the media, and I know some of you, your colleagues were with us, we closed down all the open markets, screen all of them, close all of them, whether you have fake drug, whether you don't have fake drug in it, whether your products there are registered, because you want to do extensive screening of everything, which is what we did for almost a month. Screen all the shops. If you have fake drug, we open new. If you don't have a fake drug, we open the shop. Then if you have, we seal up the shop, evacuate the products, and we destroy them.
Is this was this location specific, or is this generally across the country?
Generally, we did in Idumota Market. We closed down the Idumota Market. We closed the Malaria Market. We closed down Onitsha Head Breed Markets. They even went to the extent some of them went to the extent of complaining to the governor, their governors in their states that were disturbing businesses.
Right.
And some even people that are not even selling drugs were complaining that they cannot, come to their store to do anything because NAFDAC is holding them to ransom. So that's the much we have done. We are doing a lot. And again, talking about our lab is one of the lab, in West Africa to be reckoned with. Pre-qualification, like you know, last week, a company in Nigeria got WHO pre-qualification for medical devices. And that is, one of the first in West Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa.
Right. And
if a country has WHO pre-qualification, it means that the regulatory body is very strong, because you can't be a weak regulatory body and the company you are regulating is strong. So that means it shows the strength of NAFDAC for that company in Nigeria to have WHO pre-qualification. What does it mean? It means that this company can even sell their products outside the country and can be used for donor organization for emergencies. So our DG is not just working inside the office or just trying to know. She's taking it outside, making the manufacturing companies strong, exposing them and making them, giving them global recognition. So that is what we are doing.
Okay, so
we're not just doing it for drugs, we're doing it for food and other medical devices.
Yes, we'll come to the aspect of food regulation as well. But for these drugs, which is largely a major component of your mandatory function, some have equally said, like you said earlier on, some have said, while you are doing this kind of regulations, you're killing their businesses as well. Some have said there's no level playing field for all of them to really, really operate, and that you're coming out with the iron too hard on their business operations. So what would you say to such critics?
I don't know what you mean by level field. Let me tell you, drugs is not just item of commerce. It is for the professionals. And so, you know why I talk of food? Because food, you just take food whether you're sick or not. But you take drug because you're trying to treat an ailment. And it's unfortunate you're trying to treat an ailment, you use your money to purchase a debt. And so there's no level. I don't understand what you mean by level playing ground, because there's standard for everything.
Right.
Even about paracetamol, if the active ingredient is not right, there's a problem. Because you take overdose of it, and that could kill you, because for every drug, you're taking chemicals.
Right.
And so I don't understand what you mean by playing ground. There is standard for drug. That is why, we participated in the World Methodology Day that was celebrated recently, because measurement is a very standard, is a very big issue. Excipients must be at the right quantity and of course of quality. So it's very important, because cross-contamination for drug, if you're not a professional, you're handling drug. Please, there's no
excuse for it, right?
Ground.
Right.
This is not business. Excuse me, that you just allow people. No. And even at that, contamination from groundnut can even kill.
Let's talk
And
about.
so we're taking it seriously.
Right.
Not to talk of children. You want to kill a child, you give a child a baby. You don't need to even break the hand. Just overdose of drug or even underdose can even take a child's life. And so we pay premium to it.
Let's talk about food administration, of course, the aspect where you regulate. So for food, what are some of those major interventions you've brought on board this year?
For food, like we have done sensitization, a lot of sensitization of food, because there are practices that are very unaccepted that we people do. And it's shocking that even orange, even ordinary pineapple, you see them putting colors. So we have done sensitization campaign. We have done it in the market. We went around. But I think Nigeria, because of the population, everything is an ongoing. We keep sensitizing people, on what to do. So, and we have been reading. Like, if you look at, you can even Google online and see rice. You see people, they take all kinds of rice, rebag into even imported meat. They smuggle it into the country. They rebag rice. So we've gone to that place and we seal up. Bread and water is another big issue. We have sealed up so many companies. In fact, at a time because from all the states, coordinating public relations, I get reports from every state. And the DG has decentralized NAFDAC, that even we have zonal coordinators at the state level. So what happened is that the PRO in charge of those places, they send reports to me, and I monitor online what is happening. And of course, media is everywhere.
Right. Okay, then.
Say, there's war against bread and water. Because you see very unhygienic places, they're producing what people eat. And so those things are unacceptable. So then people using it to ripen fruits.
Right. And that was the major.
People use to ripen fruits.
Yeah, I know. So that was a major talking point this week, that even the National Assembly decided to pick it up, that we're having much more cases.
The director of chemical was at Arise 2 days ago. He spoke extensively on what we have done. And still, because sensitization, of course, is an ongoing process. I even think of calling some media to my office so that we keep repeating. Do you know we have called journalists on board for across all the geopolitical zones to sensitize them on this, so that they carry the message across? And I tell them, I say, whatever we're doing inside this house, if it ends here, we have achieved nothing. Right. So please take it as a vanguard and still as a song. I keep singing the song.
Let's get back to that.
We are doing that and we'll continue.
So let's talk more about this food. And majorly, I want to talk about bread now, because I know once upon a time, there was this campaign against those who were into the baking profession. They were making use of bromide as part of the component or constituents of making those breads to either be big and that kind of thing. So how is that going? Are we still in that campaign? And what is NAFDAC doing to check and regulate those bakery or those in the bakery sector?
Oh, yes, we register bread now because of those things. So we screen bakery, and we now have equipment that we used to test these things on the spot, bromate in bread. We have given them alternatives. If you see some bread label now, you see where they will write no bromate. So that means people are getting aware. People are aware that they don't have to use it. We gave them alternatives of what to use. So it's not new, but we keep talking to people. But I know that some places we have gone, we have not seen bromate. And anywhere we see that, we seal off the place and we sanction those producers. So which is what we are doing.
Let me just bring in Dipo Macjob at this point. Dipo, let's touch a bit on some of those things. I mean, you are a concerned person, you are a pharmacist, and of course you also live in the country. You see some of those things from one location to the other. What's your assessment, especially as relates to food? What's NAFDAC doing when you look at their input in all of these things that the deputy director has said?
Yeah, so in all fairness, I think NAFDAC has really taken it up. They've really opted the ante, because before now, the concern around one of the challenges about fakery or counterfeiting generally, whether it's for food or for drugs, is that it's difficult to even know. How do you know that this particular bread I'm consuming is made from bromate? It's difficult. Just like any drug, it takes a professional to know that this particular drug I'm about to take does not have the right active ingredients. For any drug, for example, you have active ingredient and you have what we call excipients.
Right.
Excipients or adjuvants, or adjuncts, they are the things that will take the drug to where it's supposed to act. So likewise, food, when you take it, how are you sure that you aren't taking poison?
Right.
So before now, the campaign wasn't really, very much popular. But if you get like 10 people right now, I can tell you that 5 out of 10 are conscious of that. But we need to keep pushing it because we cannot stop on using one particular medium,
Right.
which is why we are talking about using a song, which is something that is cross-cultural,
Right.
and people relate to, and that would better communicate this publicity.
All right, we'll talk about that song very, very shortly. I know you've come up with a song against fake drugs, but still dwelling on what NAFDAC is doing for food regulation. Let's talk about meat now. Christiana, and I know that in this part of the world, considering the socioeconomic situation and, of course, the harsh biting realities of the economy, people have been talking about, compromises. And people have said things like pomo, for instance. Some have come with some innovative ways of making those pomo to swell, and they do those kind of things. I don't know if NAFDAC is aware of this particular consumption of those kinds of hides and skin, as they're called, in the market, which is being sold. Hello, Christiana.
We get information and we listen to news the way you do. And so these things are not, when we hear it, it's shocking to know and it's shocking to hear. But what do? We go around. Unfortunately, when you ask them, they will deny it completely. But what do? We keep sensitizing them. Like every month, or, in the States, we carry microphone, we go to the markets to talk to them in different languages that they understand. In fact, like I ask the meat people, I say, are you, because I follow myself, I go with them when I'm in Lagos. Then the other people in the States, so I ask them, do you do this? They say, no, they don't. They don't. So we have not seen them red-handed. The viral videos we see, I'm not saying it's a lie, I will not discountenance whatever.
Right.
But I can assure you that wherever we have gone to check, they keep denying, and we sensitize them, tell them the implication of what they are doing. Some of them ignorantly, they do these things without knowing the impact on human health.
And do you have any equipment to test? I mean, if you go to those markets, for instance,
yes,
is there anything that will show?
We have on the spot equipment. There are even some that my DD just procured recently. More to test for bromate, to test for chemicals, snipers. We have equipment to do that.
Right.
So, the population is vast. That's why we need the media. And what I'm even trying to, like yesterday, I was just thinking. I said, okay, the media, if you're not in the car, you may not listen to the radio. If you're, billboards, maybe will add to some of what we are doing. And all these cars that they wrap with this and that, So, it's part of the things we are doing.
All right, then. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This morning, we're dissecting regulatory framework for public health and safety, the NAFDAC approach, and we're doing this also from the perspective of, some of those things that they are carrying out there. Mrs. Christiana Obiazikwor is here. She's Deputy Director, Public Relations for the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC. We're going to take a short break right now, and perhaps this is the point where I'll be bringing in this song. Let me just ask the composer, who is a pharmacist, Dipo Macjob. You have come out with this song. It's titled
Say No to Fake Drugs.
Say No to Fake Drugs, right?
Yeah.
Why did you produce this?
So, we have a slogan in the pharmacy profession. We say, as men of honor, we join hands. Men there doesn't respect any gender, so whether female or male. So, and this is understanding that fake drug issue is a menace. Actually, it's been there for years, and if it continues, I mean, if for it to continue till now, it just shows that some people are not getting it. So there's a need for us to continually sensitize, the public, to let people understand why they need to pay attention to this aspect, because you might never tell. It can be your brother, it can be your uncle that is going to be a victim of fake drugs.
Right.
So
all right. So Christiana and Macjob, as well as the listeners, let's just take a listen to this song, and of course we'll be back. If you have any questions for my guests on the program this morning, feel free. 091-5387-7127 and 080-99-120-777. Let's take a listen. We'll be back.
Drugs be the matter for this our land. A people they die yo, a mothers they cry yo. How we go do I beg come make we talk. Oh yeah. Just for Nigeria, we go win the war. We go win the war. Fight the battle with all our fight, yeah. Oh. Check the NAFDAC number and the expiry date, yo. No buy from Olue, consult your pharmacist. Check the NAFDAC number and the expiry date, yo. No buy from Olue, consult your pharmacist, yeah. See something, say something, my brother. No do a pass you, yeah. If you see something, say something, my brother. No do a pass you, yeah. Just for Nigeria, my brother. Think we join hands together.
Yes. Let's join hands together to say no to fake drugs. All right, then Obalinde Corridor, we can tell you, it's very, very good movement from Simpson Bridge, connecting Dolphin Bridge, linking up with Osborne Foreshore inwards by Yokuku. All looking pretty good this Saturday morning. Things are still very good within the Victoria Island and Ikeja and Alausa. Traffic is moving appreciably well within the area of coverage at this time. We can tell you as well that the stretch of Mobolaji Johnson Avenue from the toll gate, linking up with Billings Way and 7-Up Gate to Alausa intersection, very, very good to go as well. And then from Obafemi, Awolowo Way is still on a very, very good note. All right, then. So that is say no to fake drugs. Dipo Macjob, you just given us the reason why you went into the studios to just dish that out. We'll talk about where people can get this. But Christiana, did you hear the song? Hello, madam.
Hello.
I said, did you hear the song?
Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate. I think I would like to get the clip.
Okay, definitely.
Yeah, thank you for sensitizing Nigeria with that song.
Right.
Nothing is too much for enlightenment. Thank you. We appreciate.
So let's look at some other aspects of your regulation. For cosmetics, what is NAFDAC doing in that regard?
Wow. Cosmetics is what we are taking seriously. Like we did for carbide, we have done for cosmetics too. We call journalists across the states to talk to train them, because you must be informed before you talk to people. You must understand the concept. You must understand what hydroquinone is before you now go to sing the effects of cosmetics. You know, people adding, at times you see people using carrots. Oh,
Right.
because it's natural. Once you add 1 to 2, it's no longer that. There's a reaction. And you're not supposed to use it. Then, of course, you see some people came with certain questions. Why don't you ban those things that bleaches? But do you know some of them are drugs? Maybe you have injury or acne,
Right.
and you are supposed to take it to clean up that spot. You're not supposed to use it continuously. It's something you're supposed to use, for some time and stop, so that thing clear. But people use it to change the color of their skin, and this thing goes straight into the liver, into the kidney, which is unacceptable. They don't even know the effect of what they are doing.
Right.
The body has pores. So as you're putting it in your skin, it's going in through that pores into the sensitive organs of the body. So we are taking it seriously. We are sensitizing Nigerians. We are telling them about the ill effects of, such things. And of course, we are banning. There are some, cosmetics that are not supposed to even be used. The ones that are not registered. So we are screening shops.
Right.
Some of them we have it in 1, 2, 3. And when you find them, you see all kinds of. In fact, I have somebody that came to beg me. Oh, auntie, they just saw one on registered cosmetics in my shop, and they seized it and invited me. Look at what they say I should pay. I said, why should you stock it?
Right.
To get the importers, some of them is so difficult because I don't know whether it's underground they pass. We have porous borders. We can't deny that. But some they have killed some customs agents at the border because they are so desperate. People bringing all these things.
Right.
Even at trade fair, we have seen so many of them.
Okay.
So we are working on it and we sensitize people. And those ones online, it's so difficult. The battle in Nigeria is difficult to fight. But I bet we are trying our best.
And
you know what they do?
Right.
They will prepare it. Prepare the cosmetics in their houses and put addresses online.
Okay.
So when they order, they don't have a shop, no location. Now you go to the location, you won't find anything. So when they order, they take them to their hiding place or they go and give them wherever they are. So that's what they do so that they will not, NAFDAC will not be able to get at them.
Let's talk about collaboration now with other agencies of government, because even sometimes people begin to ask the question, what's the difference between NAFDAC and even NDLEA? So what kind of collaborations do you have with other government agencies in winning this war?
We collaborate very well with other agencies. The mandate is clear. There is no ambiguity. It's very clear. NDLEA deals on hard drug, cocaine, heroin, and all that. And there are chemicals too that we regulate. So it depends on what falls into hard drugs. We are illicit drugs.
Okay.
While NDLEA is illicit drug. So they are not the same. The standard organization, they set standard for every product. While we control the standard, ensure that, regulate the standards, ensure that the food is, measured to that standard set by Standard Organization of Nigeria.
Right. Okay.
So our own is food, drugs, cosmetics. Why
NDLEA.
No. Why some set the standard for every product?
Okay.
So, but we regulate standards on regulated products. That is our mandated products: food, drugs, cosmetics, medical devices, and bottled water.
All right. Let's see if we can expand the discourse beyond the studios now to also have inputs from the listener this morning. 09153877127 and 08099120777. I have Christiana Obiazikwor, who is the Deputy Director, Public Relations for NAFDAC. Dipo Macjob is in the building. He's a concerned citizen and, of course, a pharmacist and a non-verbal intelligence expert as well. Feel free to join the conversation. Those of you on Lagos Ibadan Expressway, I understand coming into Lagos is still looking pretty good. Going out as well, not bad at all. All right, this message just popped in. This one says, good morning. How does NAFDAC handle repeat offenders? What's the escalation what's the escalation process like? Sheung Ibrahim is saying that one in Sheung. Thank you so much. So, Christiana, how do you handle repeat offenders?
What we do, we take them to court. We prosecute. We prosecute offenders. We take them to court. So it depends. The prosecution process is what we cannot interfere with. Our own is to do what we can do. We have cases in court across the country. So once we get you, we seal up the place and we charge you to court. We arrest and charge you to court. So every other thing depends on the discretion.
Hello, are you there?
Depends on the discretion of the court to do what they decide to do.
Right.
But for every case we have, we prosecute right to me.
Okay.
We arrest and we prosecute.
All right.
Yes.
Prosecution and, of course, arrests. Majorly, that's what they do with repeat offenders. Sheung Ibrahim, I hope that satisfies you.
Sorry, not just repeat offenders. With offenders, whether you repeat or you just started.
Okay.
Yes.
This one says, good morning. How does NAFDAC... Okay, no. I'm taking that one. This one says, Mrs. Christiana, how big of a problem are fake drugs in Nigeria today, and where do most of them come from? Ifeanyi from Ogba is sending that one. Ifeanyi, thank you so much.
I don't want to call a country, but most of the fake drugs come outside the country, not really produced in Nigeria.
Okay, they are
So,
imported.
and that is why we are seriously working on importation of products. We are trying to ensure that people manufacture in Nigeria. There's a policy we have, 5x5 policy.
Okay.
Once you import 1, 2, 3, the fifth time, before you import, you are given license to import the fourth time. You must ensure that you have everything structured to start producing that product in Nigeria. And unfortunately, so many things, even the excipients, active ingredient, everything is imported for the people that are manufacturing in the country. So we are trying to encourage companies like Emzo. They are building plants now so that all those things that they import, active ingredients, excipients, they can manufacture it in Nigeria. Okay. And we are teaching them. We are teaching companies and even students. We have programs where we bring them on board to teach them on active ingredients and excipients, how we get what we have here to manufacture it. Because COVID-19 taught us a lesson.
Okay.
That even those ones you are importing, those things you are importing, there may be a time that you may no longer be able to import them. So on that note, we are working assiduously to encourage local manufacturing so that dependency on external importation will be out of it.
Right.
Mostly, the fake drug we have in Nigeria, most of them are imported because they go outside the country and tell them to just put water, put this, and bring it. And so that is why we are on them.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Another message here says, hello and good morning and happy weekend, madam. What should the average Nigerian do if they suspect they bought a fake drug? Thanks. Jimo is sending that one in. Jimo, thank you so much.
Yes, if they suspect they buy a fake drug, you report to NAFDAC. We have our hotline, which I will give you before I leave. So you report to NAFDAC. If you even go online, once you Google NAFDAC, everything pops up. You have our hotline there. You have our email address.
Right.
So once you do that, if there's any complaint, you report to NAFDAC. I will give you some numbers.
All right, just a second. Let me take this call. Hello there. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
All right. What's your name?
My name is Sheung.
Sheung, how are you doing?
I'm very good. Happy weekend.
Happy weekend to you. Sheung, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Agege.
Agege, all right. Sheung, I have the Deputy Director of Public Relations from NAFDAC on the line.
Yeah, I just want to tell her that there is I don't know what to say, but we have a high influx of fake pet bottles.
Pet bottles?
The soft drinks.
Oh, okay.
So most soft drinks you see on the road or even those shops, most of them are fake. You know, I had an episode where I took one and I landed in the hospital. Since then, if I'm going to take all these soft drinks, I go for the old school bottles. So I don't know if something can be done about, we need more enforcement in that area.
Okay. All right.
So if something can be done, yeah.
Let me allow her to respond. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so I do not know if you've, they brought that kind of complaint to you. Christiana, he says there's a high influx of those fake soft drinks out there, especially those ones that are being sold on the roads.
Well, we've not gotten any such complaint, but now he has said it. I would advise that you look out for NAFDAC registration number, and if there's anything you suspect, inform NAFDAC. Use our hotline, use our reform number, use our YouTube, our Instagram,
your social media platforms.
Our email addresses are online. Because if you don't report, there's nothing we can do. If you report, like he just said something, I will start looking out. I will escalate it to our pharmacovigilance department, our post-marketing department. I will escalate it. You look out for NAFDAC. If there's no NAFDAC number, report to NAFDAC. Even my line, you can even report to media houses.
Right.
They all have my line.
Okay.
Once you take it to media houses, they will escalate it and get to me.
All right. Let me
and
see.
once it gets to me, things will be done.
All right. Let me see.
So if you find it difficult to report to NAFDAC, go to any media house. They have health correspondents there that covers us.
Okay,
all
then.
of them know me. I don't think there's any media house that people will find it difficult to reach NAFDAC.
Let's see if we can take some more calls. 09153877127.
So please, if it becomes difficult for you to reach me,
all right,
go to media house. They know how to reach me.
Okay, then let's take some more calls. Hello there. Hello. All right, we lost that one. 08099120777 09153877127. This morning we're talking or perhaps looking at the regulatory function of NAFDAC and what they are doing. And I can see some of you are really, really responding. But you heard from her there. If you suspect anything, you can always report through their social media channels and all of that. There's this message here. It says, "Good morning, sir. Thanks for bringing us Mark. Okay, bringing us Macjob. Okay, so thanks for bringing us Macjob again after a while. Thanks for the song as well. Welcome to our NAFDAC director too. He said, please, NAFDAC should come to your side mirror through Lagos Traffic Radio for wider community outreach and volunteering hands as well. Olu Aloko is sending this one. Olu Aloko, thank you so much. We know you are a community volunteer, so you must always make your voice heard. So we're hoping that one of these days we can get NAFDAC on our weekly show. I mean, during the week, your side mirror, so that we can also reflect on this as well. Christiana?
No problem.
Okay. All right, that would be pretty good. As we gradually wind down to the end of the program, let's see what's the future looking like for your regulatory functions. I will say I have 7 months to run through this year. What are the areas that you guys will be targeted?
Yeah, we are working hard on regulation. We are working hard in ensuring that we achieve ML4, where Nigeria can be self-sufficient in everything, manufacturing vaccines in Nigeria, and ensuring that almost most of the companies in Nigeria are WHO pre-qualified. So we are working assiduously to get to ML4. That's all we want to achieve. Okay, we are in ML3 now, and we are working assiduously to get to ML4, where we'll be able to manufacture vaccine in Nigeria.
That would be good. That would be good. So just give a piece of advice now. So if I to identify anything that is fake, or perhaps any food that's not looking for, what should they watch out for when they go to buy drugs, when they want to buy foods, when they want to engage in anything that is cosmetics? What are the things they should watch out for?
People should not be in a haste, especially if I'll start with drugs. People should not be in a haste to buy drugs. You can't be sick and in a haste to kill yourself or go to untimely grave. So watch out for NAFDAC registered drug. You must see NAFDAC registration number, batch number, expiring dates, and manufacturing date. If you don't see that, don't buy. Suspect that drug.
Okay.
Then, of course, go to a registered pharmaceutical outfit. Don't purchase your drug from any roadside vendor. Don't purchase your drug from hawkers.
Okay.
So that may be a quick death too. So those are the things, the precautions we have to take. Read labels if you're buying food products. Read your labels. Look out for even drinks, water. Look out for expiring dates. If you suspect anything, don't buy. You must not buy that product.
All right.
Even when the bottles are rusted or the container, leave that product and go for another one.
All right.
It's a sign of deterioration. It may not expire, but because it may not be stored in the condition it's supposed to be, there could be deterioration. So that is my advice. And if you see something, say something. Report them to NAFDAC. If you see people manufacturing fake drugs, or you suspect, report to NAFDAC.
All right, Dipo, even as a round of what do we do with this song? What was the next thing for the song?
Yeah, so for us, part of the vision is to see how we can collaborate with NAFDAC, which is the major agency, in championing this cause. So because that would further create a lot of sensitization in the public. Like she said right now, that if you see something, say something, and that is already in the song. And the reason why we use pidgin is because we feel that will cut across many more people in Nigeria. So all these things are intentional. So intentionality is key.
All right. Let's leave it at that for now. It's nice having both of you. Christiana, thank you so much for connecting with us on the program this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And Dipo Macjob, always a thing of joy to have you in the studios.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's how far we go this morning. We have reflected on dissecting the regulatory framework for public health and safety, the NAFDAC approach. And joining us all the way from Abuja this morning, Mrs. Christiana Obiazikwor, who is a Deputy Director, Public Relations for the National Agency for Food, Drugs Administration and Control. And, of course, Dipo Macjob, a pharmacist, and of course Nigeria's foremost non-verbal intelligence expert. The program has been produced by Dio Anthony, and I say a big thank you to Okwemi Shodunke. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonli. My name is Victor Oteri. I'll be back by 10:15 for Maritime Today.
Fake drugs be the matter for this our land. A people they die yo, a mothers they cry yo. How we go do I beg come make we talk. Oh yeah. Just for Nigeria, we go win the war. We go win the war. Fight the battle with all our fight, yeah. For Nigeria. Oh. Check the NAFDAC number and the expiry date, yo. No buy from Olue, consult your pharmacist. Check the NAFDAC number and the expiry